Alright guys, hold on, let me just get this to the clear factor. Come on, cooperate. Go to rich. Nope, you're not gonna work. There we go. Okay guys, today, if I can fix this for you, you can laugh at me in my funny little head. Today, I am going to work on, since I have a couple custom orders, I have to sanitize my hands here. Since I have a couple custom orders, and I haven't made any of my bubbling wish wands in a while, I thought, yeah, I'm due. And normally I will do butterflies, or I'll do stars. The standard is usually the stars. But since Christmas is coming, and I just got these molds that I showed you guys the other day, I thought, you know what? Let's do some Christmas trees. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to be sharing a couple little tips, because this is a paid recipe. I won't be showing you guys everything. Okay, so like, for instance, I've already got all my dry ingredients right here. There's a trick to this, and I know people have had some issues. So I'm just going to show you how I go about doing it. So maybe it'll help you guys, and maybe that'll show you some of the issues, maybe. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I have my dry here. They're still sitting in the sifter. I haven't sifted them through. I'm going to get my wet ingredients together ready right now, so you guys can see how I do that, okay? So this is a little trick that I know a lot of you probably don't get. A lot of people would probably do the dry and then go ahead and do the wet. Well, I like to do the wet first so it has a chance to sit, if that makes sense. So I can tell you what's in the wet. It doesn't really bother me. I mean, most bubble recipes have the same ingredients. The only thing different is I have a dry ingredient that I add. So I guess I'll add that first. You can, depending on the recipe and depending on the person making the recipe, this ingredient can be changed to vegan. And I might as well tell you, it's goat's milk powder. But for vegan, you can use skim milk powder. You can use coconut milk. Whatever it is that you find you would rather like. So, okay. So this is what I normally do. And my hands are just been alcoholed and whatever, and I'll probably put gloves on, but I might not, because I like to be able to feel the texture of this. It's funny, it's just how I do it, but my hands are clean, and I put my hair up so there's no flies. I might put my hat on. So anyways, there's the dry ingredient that goes in. Now we're going to add the wet. So let me just get this out of the way. This stuff's not cheap. Don't want anything to happen to it. Okay, so I'm just going to put this aside. Okay. Now, in my recipe, I call for a specific, obviously, wet ingredient, which would be your cocoa betaine. Oh, I also need something else, so we'll use this too. Okay. So I like to use these measuring spoons. Make sure I do the right amount here. And you also add your colorant in here, your dry colorant. I believe this is right. Okay. So, and when I do this, I get a little generous. And I know that could be part of the problem. Like, if you're going to do exactly a tablespoon, you'd stop there. I don't, which is probably why. I go over till it goes over. So that's one. Oops, that's a little bit more than two, but that's okay. And that's three. Okay. All right, and now that's what I mean by over. You see how I'm like past the meniscus curve? That's what I like to do. Whoops, but that's okay. Okay, now since I'm doing Christmas trees, I'm going to add green. So, which green do I want to use? You can use mica. If you want the color to to spread in your bath. I suggest lakes or dyes. So I think, do I want that kind? No. I want a dark green. Well, let's just see here. I can always add a bit of mica too, it's okay. So there's my green. I'm just gonna leave that hanging there for a second. Can you stay? Stay. Now for colors, I do have an amount that you can use, but it is really a personal preference. So it's up to you guys how much you want to use. And I want this to be like a tree, so I'm hoping this shows up like actually well. Let's give that a second here. Where is my other spatula? Oh, I guess we'll use the little one for a second. And now I have green dye on my fingers. Great. I will be washing my hands. Fragrance is going in here too. So.
Message.
No messaging me now. Okay, that's going to be a really pretty green, I think.
Message.
Yes. Okay. Bath bomb help, but I'm not doing bath bombs right now. Okay, so that's that, and I got nowhere to put this. Fragrance. I'm going to use my new Christmas cravings. Yay! And guess what I forgot to get was a pipette. Well, unless I have one here. Okay, nope, hold that thought, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. Come on. Alright. There we go. I usually do about 6 mils of fragrance. Oh. So. Or by scent. It just depends. This is a 3 mil pipette. So there's one. I'm going to do about 2.5 pipettes. That's the norm. And this, like I said, this is an experiment to see, because I've had a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, I always say a lot. I've had a few people say to me, we can't get it to the dough texture, like, what are we doing wrong, or am I doing something, or whatever. So I'm testing a theory. Today is a very rainy, wet day outside today. So, that being said, humidity is in the air, big time. So I want to test something about that. Okay, so I just put that in here. Now, I just want to show you guys something. This is what I do, okay? And this is a key point. If you guys don't do this, you are not going to end up with the same result. It's just not going to happen. I hate to tell you, but it's just not. You see the amount of liquid I have in there, okay? You need a frother. This is a must. And you get in. This one's dying naturally. You want to get all the dry completely incorporated into this, and you also want to get as much air in here as you can. Oh, I wish this wasn't dying, and I can't go steal the one from the coffee, because nobody wants to share soaping with stuff we eat. So anyways, as you can see me doing this, the more you do this, the more air, and that's what we want. We want as much air as possible. And why are you dying today? The trick is to get a lot of air. Okay? I'm going to keep frothing. And this is what I do. Like I said, I'm doing this. And I'm going to set that aside. And now I'm going to work on the dry. I'm going to also wash my hands, if you guys can give me 1 second. I hate to do this, but I have to do this. My sink's way over there. So give me 2 seconds. You can still hear me. And then you'll see what I have in mind. Or I'll show you what I do. See? Can't pause it like I can in the other one. Okay, Timmy. Wishy-washy. No! I can't answer it. Okay. There we go. Over to my towel stash. Okay. So what I do is I like to, obviously, like I said, I do my wet first. I've already measured out all the dry ingredients in the recipe, and it's in here. So now what you do, actually there's nothing on this, is you sift it. And you sift it 3 times. Well, 3 is the best. So, and I should have had my mask on. If I didn't say that in my recipe, guys, please put your masks on. Or work in a very well ventilated area so you don't have to worry about the floofing. Because obviously it's dry and it's going to floof. But you want to get all this sifted through. Oh, Jamie, where's your mask? I think Shane borrowed it. And when I say do this, you want it all to go through the sieve. No chunks left. If there's any bits that don't go through, don't put them in your batter, okay? Just dispose of them. If anything that doesn't go through, it's usually just a bit of, like oatmeal or something like that. Unless, of course, you're using colloidal oatmeal, and then, of course, that will go right through. And I need to use my hands, because I can't get this to break up. Come on, guys, not now! So this is just, well, if you have the recipe, you know what this is. I'm just breaking up the dry. Come on, guys, you can get in there. Maybe I should have sifted it once before I started. Anyways, I don't want any lumps or chunks. You want it so smooth. I'm trying. See, the humidity affects it already. I got a new sifter coming. I can't wait. It's one of those the old-fashioned kind. Like the flour sifters, and you just pull the trigger. I can't wait to get that. It's going to make life so much easier. Okay, well, anyways, I can't get that last little bit through, if you can see that little bit there. So, it goes in the garbage. Okay? So that's sifted once. Here goes sifting number 2. And by now, it's probably going to all go through. And if not, see, there you go, there's the bottom. That's just little oatmeal pieces. And if a few go through, they go through. But I don't let the chunks go through. Now, should we mix it in this bowl or this bowl? You can do it 3 times. I think I'll just leave it at the 2 for now. So this is my dry mix in here. Okay, and I'm going to put a little well in the middle, just like a little dent, just like when you're baking. And here's my net. You see the froth on top? I still want it frothed more. And I mean, like, as much as you guys can froth this, you want to see that line actually go up higher. So, if I had a better frother, I mean, you could probably really whiz the crap out of this, even with your stick blender if you had to, or a handheld mixer. Just put on the one, you know, the one tine or whatever you call it, the one beater. So, like, because 2 wouldn't fit, right? So, but you should by rights whip this like crazy, and I don't really want to put it in until it's got a lot of air in here. If I had a fork, that would be good. I could do it like scrambled eggs. The point is, you want to froth this as much as you can. Like, this is key. And I don't think I'm going to get it as frothed as I want, but it's not too bad. And my batteries are dying in my frother. But usually you'll see a bunch of froth on top. This does change a little bit of the texture, a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. Like, it gets thicker, if that makes sense. Come on. Off. Okay. And then, next, it's simply a matter of pouring this into your little well. And you make sure you get every little speck of this stuff out. Every speck. Okay? Like, don't leave anything in this if you can help it. I know that sounds a bit like overkill, but trust me, when it comes to the moisture of this, you'll understand why. So, I don't think I forgot anything. I feel like I did, but I don't think I did. Okay, so as you're mixing, and you'll notice people are like, oh, it's too dry. It's going to look sort of like the texture of, like everything I make. Like a shortbread, or a crumbly cookie dough, or maybe a bath bomb that you've added too much liquid to. That's a good way to describe it. But as you mix, and I don't want anything stuck on here because everything counts, and I think I should put gloves on for this. I don't really feel like having green hands today, but we'll see. So it's going to all be in there. I'm just testing a theory, like I said, because I've heard a lot of people say to me, Tammy, it's just not going dough. And the only thing that I could figure the issue would be the weather, or maybe not enough liquid, not enough kneading, because there's something about this that I have to tell you. Is now you can see it's getting to the texture of what I was telling you about. When I say knead the crap out of this, I'm not kidding. You really, you see how I get the back of my spatula and I squish it down? That's part of how I get the mixing, so that all that dry, floaty stuff in there gets mixed and pushed into the dough. So I keep doing that until there's no, wet, gooey spots, and there's no powder left in the bowl. Okay, there should be no dry remnants. Like, you can see how I'm doing it. I'm still doing it. Still pushing down. And you see how the powder's disappearing? Can you guys see that? The powder's disappearing, right? So it's not... I mean, there's still a bit in the middle, but if you look at it now, it's like a powdery dough, right? And you could use this and you could say, oh good, now I can push it into the molds. But guess what? I don't want to push it into molds today. I want to be able to roll it like I showed you guys. And I want it to be a dough. This is actually good. I'm glad that it's gone to this texture, because this is what a lot of people are having happen to them. So, when this happens, like this, I'm going to show you what I do. And let's cross our fingers and hope it works today. Because once this starts going, it starts to set up. Like, I'm not kidding. It starts getting hard fast, because it is a reusable bubble bar. And there's just no stopping. There's no stopping it, because once it starts to dry, you're SOL. It's drying. Okay, so I'll take my spatula out, put that there. Now, what I do, as you can see it, I'm not wearing gloves. I'm sorry, I don't care. You have to get in there, and when I say knead, you'll see what I mean. Sure, it started out powdery, and I'm not kidding. Like, it's crummy, what do you want to call it? It's shortbread. That's the only way I can explain to you guys that it's shortbread, okay? But look at in the bowl. See how I'm picking up all the dry stuff now? And there's no dry stuff left in my bowl. Here's the dough. It's not quite a dough yet. It's sort of a dryish dough. Okay? But, watch. It's going to start sticking to my hands, too. Guys, as I start squishing and kneading and playing with it, what do you see happening? It's a dough, right? I now have a dough. This is all you have to do, is work it to make it into a dough. That's it. And it'll rise a tiny bit. Like, that's not a lot. You're like, I normally get about 3 wands out of this. So it's going to rise a little bit. Like, this will get a tiny bit bigger. It's hard to explain, but it does. And you can still double the recipe, but you guys have got to move. So there is I have a dough. I can roll this. I can squish it into the molds. I can cut it out. I'm planning on cutting it out. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a tiny bit of soda on the table so that I can, you know, do it here without it sticking to everything, because it will. So I just got a little bit of soda. And don't worry, I've already done my tables like I've told everybody. So there's my dough. Let's get this out of the way. Stay. Okay, and you can laugh at me. This is what I use. There's a reason. And I roll it out however thick I want it to be, and I wish you guys could see me, and you can't see what I'm doing rolling. How am I going to do this so you don't fall over? Can you guys see that? I'm afraid I'm going to knock you over. Let's see if I can wedge you in there. Is that good? Okay. So, hey, that's not too bad, guys. And don't worry about it if you see a bit of soda flakes in it. That will go away. So, we're going to try my tree cutter, which I should have probably opened up. Do you guys see that frickin' fly? Again? Okay, the trick is, I don't want it thin. Get out of there, I just lost my sticks. Okay. So these are my sticks. Now, what size do I want is the question. Is that a good size? No, too small. Okay, I'm gonna go for this one. Yeah, that's a good one. So basically, you're cutting out your shape. Dun, dun, dun. There's one. He might be a little bit too thin for me, I'm thinking. Yeah, he's too thick, or too thin. So, let's just double thick it. Alright, move my dough around. I'm just going to show you how I do one for just this quick second. But you don't want to leave this dough sitting too long, because it does dry out, like I said. But you can just kind of knead it back and it starts getting soft again. As long as it doesn't harden on you completely, you're okay. So, take it out of your little mold. It's thick enough. I've got my sticks with the ball. Sometimes pilot. Maybe we'll do a pilot. No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it does matter. We'll stick a pilot hole in first. I stick it in about half. Got the ball on the end. Yes, it's going to crack as you do it, of course. But you got to lie it down flat, and then you have to squeeze it all around. Get lost, fly! All around the thing. And I'm going to get my tray, because that's what this should be on. Can't show you that. Maybe I'll just leave it there for now. But you're going to squish it so that it stays like that. Because you want the pressure. Oh, I don't have my flattening thing. But you want the pressure on that part, right? So that it holds the wand in place. That's why it has the ball on the end, so that your wand doesn't slip out. If you guys are used to using the straight sticks like this, after it's hardened, or if you've moved it around too much, this gets loose and it slips out. The ones with the ball on the ends, I find it grips a lot better. So I just forgot my decoration since I'm here. I'm going to get that real quick. What should we use? Okay, he's not going to be super decorated, is he? Well, so I've got some candy stars. And then we're just going to plunk one on. Just like that. So there's one. Push it in a little bit. Don't start, guys. And then you can put the balls on it. I've got, I'm going to decorate these with luster after. Or you can do glitter. You can do whatever you want. It goes on after by itself. No big deal. But just stick them in. You can even let them go where they want. You got to get all this stuff in while it's damp. Or not damp, but while it's still dough. Because these will dry so fast. You guys have no idea how much this is going to dry. Like super, super fast. Oops. Get up there. Get up there. So I just see my dough is just sitting there. You guys are probably worrying about it. It might be getting hard. It could. So on that note, make sure your thing's tight around that stick. It was firming up a little bit. Spread around my soda. Put it back down. Give her a... You don't have to roll it. You can squish it down to wherever you want it first. I just try to make it the same thickness, but... This stuff is so great because you can actually, like, mold stuff. When I did my giveaway, I molded present shapes, and then I put a ring, actually, in a capsule in each of them. But I think something happened. I don't know. I haven't heard if anybody got their gift inside it yet or not. But that's just neat. You can get so creative with this dough. Like, you don't have to just do a flat, you know, sort of, you know, here's your tree. You can do whatever you like. The other method I had when it was powdery, like if you didn't knead it enough, like squish it to get it to dough, you would take your cookie cutter and you would basically jam it in like you were if you were making a bath bomb cookie. I don't think that's fat enough. Nope, guess what? We're doing that one again thick. So, yeah, I think the last time I did this, I think I doubled the recipe. So, you guys can double the recipe. You just either got to move really fast, have someone there with you, maybe who could mix the other bowl or something. I mean, that's a way to do it. I mean, I'm sure you could figure it out. But like I said, if it's just sitting for a second and it starts to feel like it's firming up, just give it a good old smushy knead. But this stuff, you cannot keep this stuff, like, say you didn't use it all. I don't really by rights think you can put it in a plastic thingy and save it. It just doesn't work like that. It's not that kind of a dough. Are you thick enough? Oh, I don't have to double that one. So, yeah, pilot hole. And like I said, people have used paper sticks. They do work good, but if you're putting these in the water for any exposed amount of time, the paper starts disintegrating, and then you don't have, you lose your stick. You know, you want it to have the integrity of what it is. So this kind of sucks because now I can't move it, can I? And if you're concerned about the bottom, you guys could make another chunk and maybe put like a Christmas tree stand bottom on the bottom. Kind of do that. You could have made some in a different color. Garlands on your tree. Heck, you don't even have to make trees. You guys can do so many different shapes or whatever. But I just wanted to show you that it really does... You can get it to a dough texture, even if it starts out looking like I showed you where it's powdery, okay? So, what do we got here? Oh, you guys are still having problems with the damn feed. I'm really trying to work on the one on my computer, guys, to see if I can do the video streaming on that. It might be a little bit better. But, like right now, I'm sorry, this is all I got. And I don't know... You're not the only one I've heard that's having issues, so I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. I feel bad. But does anybody have any questions about these? Or about this recipe? While I'm on here? Anything? Because I'm going to have to go soon, because I'm going to have to move real quick, I think. Get in there. Oh, you're starting to harden up. It won't stick in, damn it. See how fast? See how fast they start hardening on me? Look at that. Look. That's how fast they start hardening. Oh. Okay, I guess that means I better not yap too much. Oh, you're going to have to stay put. I can't move you just yet. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Or a lot of, if you guys, I mean, you guys are all very creative. You can do whatever you like with them. But I know you guys will get super creative, and I can't wait to see it. But like I said, it's just a matter of playing with the mix to get it to a dough texture, and then you guys should be fine. If it's not, like if you're totally crumbly and it's really not doing any kind of a dough thing, go back in and add a bit more of your wet ingredients. But seriously, the main reason I've found is because you guys haven't got, not like I don't like saying you guys, that's your fault, but in my experience, from what I've had happen to me, it's because there's not enough air froth in that wet mixture. And also, a good trick is to, oh god, I got baking soda everywhere. A good trick is to like I said, get your wet ingredients ready before you even attempt to work on your dry, okay? I hope that helps you guys a little bit. Anyways, I'm going to go, and I have to move and get these last ones done, or they're going to harden on me. I might actually end up making something different. Look at that. Here we go. I started talking to you guys, and it's already, you know... Hey, they'd be cute little Christmas tree, what a cute thing. Christmas tree ornaments for stocking stuffers. But, oh, you just gave him a bubble bath. Seriously? Yes, I'm selling the recipe. It's in my Etsy, Tina. It's called Bubble Bath Wish Wands. I might be able to show you a picture of what it looks like. That's it on Etsy. Can you see that? It's got a better picture than that. It's got a picture of... Oh, maybe I can show you better. Hang on. I can't find it. Anyways, there's a better picture on Etsy. It's going to be a pink picture of the Monsters guys from the movie Monsters. So yes, it's for sale. But anyways, I'm going to have to go, guys, because I got to get these last ones done here. As you see, I'm starting to harden on me. But thanks for watching. I hope that helps you guys with the questions you had. And if you still have more questions, just message me. Send me a PM. Or, you know, either through Facebook, Etsy, YouTube. I don't always get my messages on YouTube unless it's a comment under the video. But like that. So if you guys, you know, need anything or whatever, let me know. And I hope this helped. It doesn't matter. If you went through PayPal, I'd still have fees. But the thing is, the recipe... Oh, actually, I just downloaded the recipe. Oh, I was going to say, the only recipe I have is on Etsy because I didn't have the updated version. But I do now. PM me, and we'll talk about that. I'll have to double check. Okay? But anyways, guys, I'm going to go. These are starting to set up, and I got to move my bum. Okay? So thanks for stopping by and watching. And when the rain stops, I will be back to do a bomb video, but it's not going to be today because the weather is brutal. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by. I hope this helped. And I'm going to get rolling. See you guys.